Power up.
Ho ho.
Now, find a new rival.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. It is Thursday, July 13th, 2023. Yes, we are back with the Japanese Rail Sim to finish the last two trophies. Thank you very much to Dash No Chris for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I am Ancient Flounder. We're playing train games tonight.
My bottom. Oh, my bottom's big.
Welcome in, Nana. Yeah, so we were on this on Tuesday, and I was working on... I gotta change my offsets on the logo and the audio up there. We were working on some stuff. I think I ended up having to do... I was working on 100 sections. And we were working on getting all gold medals. And we managed to get all the gold medals done. And I was not entirely sure how many more sections I needed to do to get this last trophy. And I thought, okay, well, when we come back to this, we'll start doing some sections, or I'll do some of that on my own. And then we'll come back, we'll finish the rest of the full runs, and then do the free runs, and we'll be good. I think it was, yeah, you can see the timestamp on there, 1:58 a.m. I think I hopped on there real quick to check something. I don't remember why, and I was like, I'll play a section and I'll see, it'll count towards the rest of it, right? And I played one section just to try to get a better stop on it, just cause, and it popped the trophy. So that one's out of the way. You don't have to worry about it. Before I forget, filters, render delay. Turn that back on. That's going to be slightly off for a moment. And set our microphone back to 500. And then I got to remember, after the show's done, to set this stuff back to 0 and turn the render delay off, because we'll be playing the next big game here on the stream, starting on Saturday. We'll be playing that on PC via emulation. In case you weren't aware, we are going to start Super Mario RPG. My first actual real attempt at playing through that game. But we're going to finish this up tonight. So the only things we have left is completing all books, which requires doing full line mode here. We got to do the full line from Kurama Station back to Daimachi Yanagi. Actually, no, this is the down line. This is Daimachi Yanagi up to Kurama via the summer route. And then we got to do the Azon line from the top of the mountain back down. That one won't take very long. This one's going to be a bit of a lengthy boy, but we got all our times. Actually, since we're going to do that one first, I need to move this back over and move it ever so slightly down. Oops, that's too many. There's too many spots. There we go. Does that show Daimachi Yanagi at the bottom? Yes. Okay. So that's all of our... I put the lengths on there, but I really didn't get it finished up. Plus, I was figuring I'd have to make the lines even bigger to fit the station numbers, but I probably could also just do wraparound text on that. I'll worry about that later. That way you guys have an idea of what we're working on. So, what else? Did I have anything else that I needed to go over? Not that I'm aware of. We'll go over the rest later. And I've got to remember in the next day or two to make posts about it, but I'll just as another reminder as I beat that mercilessly into you guys. That's a really bad way of putting that. But obviously I have a series that's starting up on YouTube soon. I'll make sure that I have people show up for that. Hopefully. Be appreciated. So yes, Kurama line down, Daimachi Yanagi to Kurama. All the times there, even though this route is... At least on this one, all the footage is from summertime. It's the same route as if you were playing it here in fall. And we need to hit Eden Master on this one, as well as the Azon line up. And that should unlock all the books, because the rest of the books require having at least 5 of those ranks, Eden Master ranks. And that's why I have the speeds here. I try to keep everything going at around the average speed, roughly below it, and it seems to be working out pretty well. So once we have those, that'll take a little bit of time. Then we can do the free runs, and then we don't have to worry about it. As far as I know, I can just play those as fast as possible and get through them, and that'll be the last trophy to hit, and I'll finally get the platinum on this. Now, leaving Daimachi Yanagi, going to Mototanaka Station, it's an average of 29. Get my controls here. Yeah. But it's pretty slow coming out of here. It's like 20 to 25. And a bit of time before our doors close. If you're not familiar with train games and how they generally operate, you will see the door light down there in the bottom left corner. If there was a full controller for this game, there actually would be a physical light on that. Can't go over 20, but we will get up to speed. And cut the power. It's 29 is the average going into this area. And since you're heading kind of slow out of the station, because there's I think a track switch here. Yeah, we'd have to go to the left side. Can't hit those too fast. Those are almost never fun, even when you're on a train. If you take them too fast, they're might throw you around a little bit. On the older trains, the heavier trains, they're a little bit more noticeable. Speed change to 50 here, I believe. Yep. We're not going to go that fast. We're probably going to take it up to 35, cut the power, and cruise. 29 being the average, I usually will go about 27, 28 or so. As with most of these stops, the doors on the left side will open. Moving too slow. No, that's fine. Especially since we're going uphill, I can keep it on 2 there and just kind of cruise. Oh god, yeah. From the start, if I go the wrong way from the starting, actually no, if you don't do the track change, yeah, you would be going the wrong way. I feel like, I don't know if these smaller trains would operate the same way. The bigger ones, they can track all of that. Like even with the old Shinkansen, like the type, so the like the yeah, I think it was the Type Zeros. Do we have enough time? Oh, we got more than enough time. The old Type Zeros, even there, they were actually able to track those and have like direct lines to Tokyo for that stuff, which is kind of crazy in the late 60s, but that train was exceptionally advanced for its time. I don't know if there's one of those on display in Japan. I imagine there would be somewhere. It looks like there's a railway museum in the UK that has one of those Type 0 trains. We'll just kind of ease into the stop. Actually, we need to speed it up just ever so slightly. Just a little off. That's not great. Not great. I think we'll be okay on that one, though. Alright, 36 coming out of here. We can haul a little bit of butt. I was also fucking up. Well, that Azon train just appeared right in front of us. That's the one that goes up to Mount Hiei. This is 36. We're also not that far, so you don't really need to go that fast, but we also have like just over a minute to make it to that stop. We're slowing down too much. You're moving too slow. Yeah, I am. We'll get there. This one will get coming fast. We'll slow it down pretty heavily. Coming into the station. I don't want to arrive too early. That'll throw our time off way too much. Within 3 seconds. That's pretty good. That'll work. Alright. To Ichijoji, 32 as our average. Oops. Did that backwards. I'm already off. I don't know what the tolerances are for like actual drivers. Generally, if it's slow, yeah. Maybe that's why I see drivers change so much. So I feel like I've been on routes where they're they change like twice. You have one driver on there for, I don't know, 3-4 stops, and then they'll swap. They imagine they're just going to a different location. Because they're going to change to a completely separate train. I feel like there's at least some tolerances to that. You know, you're gonna run into stuff. If it's a rainy day, you're gonna have problems with that too. Do that until it starts to flatten out a little bit. Just under a minute, yeah. Some of these, though, I feel like I'm pressing my luck a little too hard. I really don't want to have... I don't want to have to do this line again. If I don't get 8N Master, that's going to kind of suck. Be nice to get everything in kind of a single shot tonight. This one. I want to stop too early. I have a feeling this would probably be against the rules. Yeah, see, that's fine. That's 3 seconds. Like that one, I thought it was okay, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm actually like really low on time now. All right, Shugakuin. 35 here. Some of these stops in the early parts are pretty close together. So I've been looking out for horn. I forgot actually, it'll let you know on screen when you need to sound the horn for extra time. I was wondering about that last time. I'm like, oh, how did I get it right this time? I'm like, oh, because I saw when they signaled it. It's up in the top right. Usually underneath the gradient signs that they'll show. Oop. There we go. Slow it down as we come into this stop. Downhill here? No, it's still up. A little bit closer. Had to hit that. Oh, that's a good stop. Some of these I'm not sure about with distance. I'm trying to remember. Let me check one of the screenshots I have. Pay no attention to the plane there. It's within 50 centimeters. Okay, so as long as I'm within those, I think as long as I'm getting A rankings, we're good. All right, so we're going into Takaragaike. Shugakuin de Takaragaike. It's 36 as well. A little bit of a further distance on this one. Massive hill on, not massive, but 33% gradient. You watch your speed drop like a rock. Downhill, where you don't really need much power. At that point, you almost always want to just ride the brakes and keep your speed pretty normal. We're still going uphill. Making all kinds of little mistakes right now. Just about a minute to make it the rest of the way. Too far away. Drop the speed anyways. Track switch.
The train bound for Yasei Iezan-Kuchi departs from track number 2.
A little too fast. There we go. That's a good stop. All right, Hachiman Mae. 36 in here as well. Uphill gradient. Big boy gradient.
The next station is Hachiman Mae. Station number E09.
We have a lot of uphill gradients on this one anyways as we go up the mountain. Some of those get pretty severe. I feel like I hear something outside my window. Quite loud. Oh wait, no, now I know what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the overhead announcements better in-game, which is something I didn't hear much since I had my TV low the last time we played this. I was like, oh yeah, those are actually quite noticeable. Just let the game do the work for me. I don't need to do announcements. That's what they're already doing it. They're doing the thing for me. Got a minute, yeah. Downhill from here. Nope, still uphill. Too much speed off of there. I feel like I've been doing that a lot in this run, is underestimating. It says there, it's like, okay, I have 35 seconds, but that 35 seconds can pass very quickly. That's pretty good. All right. Iwakura. 34th is this section.
The next station is Iwakura. Station number E10.
As you're seeing all these nice surroundings, bear in mind, this is summertime. It's summertime now, but this would be summertime in Japan, and it's summertime in Kyoto. It's hot. There might be air conditioning on this train. Actually, guaranteed there's air conditioning on this train. It's still very warm, very sweaty. So enjoy the sights. Hopefully you're at home. and you're in air conditioning, you got a cold beverage, it's not humid where you're at. Because boy howdy, I can tell you from experience. Kyoto in summertime. You know something, Rudy? You like Kyoto in summertime. Very hot. Easily one of the hottest places I've been to. And I live in a desert. I'll never not be baffled by that. Like, man, you need clothing that's better suited for this environment. See all the people with loose-fitting clothing. The only ones that don't are businessmen, but they don't have any choice. Salaryman's just like, nope, you wear what you got to. Tucked in t-shirts and blue jeans. Oof. Makes me sweat thinking about it. And not in a good way, or a bad, actually bad way either way. Phrasing on that one is a little bad. Come on. That's still within tolerance, that's good. Next up, Kino. 35 in here as well. I like this area just looks like it'd be extra warm. It's kind of still within Kyoto, but it's a little bit on the outskirts. It'd be fine though. Yes, this is a nice little. You don't even have to do anything right here. Watch the speedometer. Let the downhill take you where you need to go. And that's the right tempo. There is no tempo. Like I literally just decrease speed with a bit of brake. I'm just letting inertia do its thing right now. Do a little bit more here because that downhill became a bit more prominent. 2 horns. Not enough to use. You have 2 horns on this. There's only one on the other train. There's not enough reason to use them. Like Denshide-go, they'll have you using those horns kind of often. But that also has you flipping lights off and making sure your wipers are on a rainy day. Alright. There's nobody here except for that one guy looking across the street. That's good enough. All right. Let's Kino, Kyoto, Seika Daimae. That's all right. I don't think we're going to be penalized on letting the brakes off there. This is, yeah, 30. Another over here. I saw that, I think it was a month ago, Sonic Powered had announced an EX version of one of the Tetsudo Nippon games they put out for 3DS, because this series, I think, entirely started on 3DS, and then they started redoing stuff for consoles. But they're redoing one of their older games into the Real Pro engine, which looks pretty cool. It's another small Small train line. It has like one route. It's out in the middle of nowhere. My kind of thing. I think it comes out in August. It said that the trailer said July, but when I checked the website, it said, to grab the link there in a second. It said August now. Like, well, I do need to start playing through Real Pro to get used to that engine. Get used to controlling trains with the Zuiki Moscon. Way early on this. Slow it down. 20 fucking seconds. I can't stop too early. Just have to ease it in at this point. Just give it a little tappy. Three seconds? Good enough. Alright, so Nikenchaya is next. Let me grab you the link for the new game that's coming out. Hey, that completely fucked up the... Forgot to change tabs. Get over there. That's the newest game. Seems like a lot of stuff they're redoing. The Meitetsu line one for Switch, the first Real Pro game. That's coming out for PS4, but since PS4 doesn't have its own like dedicated Moscon controller, there are ways of using the Switch one, and it generally requires either a Titan 2 adapter to completely remap all the inputs so that PS4 can read it, or you can do the slightly cheaper and easier to find method, which is getting a Titan 1 adapter and then hooking it into a Brook adapter that swaps Switch inputs, Switch controllers, and lets them be usable on PS4. And that's necessary so the Titan 1 doesn't disconnect, and then you just run the remapping. I don't quite remember. I think it's just a script that you have to run on there, and that'll remap all the inputs for you. Which, it'd be nice to have that, because then I could play the PS4 version of Densha to Go and use the Moscon because it maps up properly and then be good to go. Because the Switch version is just fine. The resolution's just a touch too low to make some stuff harder than it needs to be. Like if you're trying to spot track workers or people you can honk the horn at that are on like the walkways underneath, because it's like you see all the kids waving to you and shit, and you'd be like, hey, it's a train. You can honk the horn and get extra points for it. But yeah. But I think that's like, how much is that? I think both adapters are like $40 a piece. And I'm at a time right now where I don't need to be spending a whole lot of money. I even just went through my lists. I think I'm going to get back to having one Amazon wish list and just combining everything again, because I cut a ton of shit out. I'm just like, do I need this? No, it's been sitting here for years. Don't need it there anymore. I might keep two lists and keep the streaming and filming stuff that I want separate, because those are just big ticket items that I would love to have, but I know nobody's going to buy for me. Yeah. The Brook Wingman XE adapter, and then the Titan. Oh, the Titan 1 device is $60. I think I've seen the Brook Wingman XE is like $40, so you're looking at $100. I think the Titan 2, when you can find it, is like almost $200. All right, so Nikenchaya is next. It's 30 coming out of this area too. Pick it up to 30 and then bring it back down. Can't go too fast in this section anyways. Don't know why you would do more than 45. I think in free mode we can get away with that. I don't believe it penalizes you at all. It doesn't care. It's kind of the whole point of free mode, is to just do the run and have fun with it, and you don't have to worry about timetables, average speeds, anything like that. So I saved it for the last trophy, because I'm just like, yeah, we can just haul ass through a section. And I don't know if we have to play all sections again or just play one section of each. We'll find out. If it's all sections, we'll just haul as much ass as possible. the station. Are we uphill? Yes, still ever so slightly. It feels like it levels out here, but it doesn't. Kind of nice how quiet these stations are, too. It's little platforms. You even get to the other platform across the way, it's like you probably have to check in somewhere. Actually, these probably have IC card readers in the trains. Kind of like how the streetcars in Hiroshima don't have like ticketing machines. You just actually have to scan in on the train. Jesus Christ. How much time am I gonna have to kill to do this? 3? Yeah, 3. That's fine. Just has to be 3 seconds. 3 over or under. This is Ichihara to Ichihara 35 for this section. So it's a lot tougher than I thought. Doing the downhill one, I feel like that was a... Ooh, I almost fucking sped out of here. I didn't even see that as the 25 limit. It was just like, oh, 35, we're good. You definitely have to track switch here. Because you would just run into that down there and have a very bad day. Alright, so it's a 35, Ichihara, yeah. We're moving too slow. Dude, it's 35 through here, we're good. Fine, you want fucking 40? I'll give you 40. We're about to go downhill. I think. No, it still says it's an uphill gradient. It's always weird. I'm like, are we sure we're going uphill? Yes, we are. The track level's out, but we're still having to run into that. I want to have a repeat of some of those last couple of stops where it's like, oh yeah, you're almost at the line. You got 20 seconds before you're ever supposed to be here. See the aircon units on top of it. We're moving too slow. Motherfucker, shut up. Alright. Cemetery to your left there. Maybe we are going too slow. I think 35 in here, except we're going to go downhill right about now. Maintain 40. Hey, go faster. But by the way, don't go faster. Yeah, see, we're fine. We're going downhill into the station. Like, don't haul too much ass. This is a single platform, too. It means you'd have to swap tracks at some point, just to get around the trains. It's the fun part with the... Oops. Shit, too fast. Shit. That's way too early. Ugh. That's an A. That might not hinder me, but... Just thinking about the Shinkansen stuff for Densha to go. Alright, Nino say 33 and then 31 for everything else after this. 3 more stops. So I've seen for some of the Shinkansen stuff for Densha to go, you actually do have to, like, you're in tunnel systems, and you have to, at some points, pull off onto a separate section of track in the tunnel. And it's to let an oncoming train pass. And that's factored into your timetable. You gotta wait from the pass. And then basically full throttle that motherfucker back out onto the track and make sure you get to your next station on time. Or at least your next time point, because you might be, let's say you're driving a Nozomi train. You're not going to be hitting every stop anyways. But you do want to pass through that station at a specific time. That way you have a pretty good idea of, hey, do I need to speed up for this next section to make up for lost time? Because obviously it doesn't matter. You're not making a stop. Making your stops is the most important part. This is the Momiji Tunnel. It's 33 through here? Slower than that. Let's say, yeah, it's 30 going through here, downhill. Okay, I was right. It was Maple Leaves. I was like, Momiji, Maple Leaves, right? Vibrant green color in summertime. Very pretty. And we have all big-ass uphill sections after this. Still going uphill though. Be too early like last time. I was like, what, 5 seconds on that stop? Too much. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a second early, but right on the nose. So 31 through here. Kibu Neguchi. Bring it up to 30 and just basically ride that the whole way. Be a lot of alternating. We have another horn section through here, so eye out for that. As the footage goes. Man, I'd be pissed. I was filming this for a game. We have that strong amount of out of focus. It's like, oh, we're gonna have to redo the entire section. I'm like, whoa, I missed that there. That was a really fast horn. Oh no, I got it. All right, never mind. I saw that up there. It's like seeing some of the stuff I filmed for the Yokohama series, where I'm just like, wow, that looks like shit. Or it's like, this is workable, but I had a habit of putting my hand over the camera in instances where I thought, okay, I don't want to make people uncomfortable that I'm filming. But there's a lot of sections where I do it and I'm just like, why the fuck did I do that there? And that like just breaks up the flow of the footage, so I have to make a cut in certain sections more than I would like to have it be that way. But not much you can do about that once you have that footage. It's like, hey, I shot it in February. It's July, we're going into August. It's 5-6 months ago. You can't do anything about it. You just work with what you have. And you can make something out of it still. No biggie. If you miss something, then it's kind of different. Like even doing the video for Yamashita Park, it was like, oh shit, like there's a bunch of stuff in this park that I probably could have covered, but it already felt like it was a little long anyways. Out of the two that are finished so far, it is the longest one. By like 4 minutes. Chinatown, you'd think I would have covered more, but maybe it wasn't as interesting to me in the long run. But I'll let people decide that on their own. What is interesting to them. See how things work out when we have the premieres on the YouTube channel for those. I will link over to that later. Good enough. All right. Up to Kurama. This one I know will have us going slow after a certain point. 35, but 31's the average, but we're gonna have to drop speed pretty fast. So,
Station number E17. 一日乗車券などをご利用のお客様も、ご乗車になったままの折り返しはできませんので、あらかじめご了承願います。
thankfully the A's online section is shorter and it is a little bit easier. Having it be out of focus in the tunnel, it's like, yeah, you can't really help that if it's a fixed focus. I think you just kind of have to deal with it. Some of this is kind of blown out too, but if this was shot years ago, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's another thing with my footage. It's like, yeah, sometimes it's a little bright. But those days it was bright anyways, so like even if you were there in person, it's like, oh yeah, no, you can't help it. I know for the future I need to get some ND filters to help out with that a little bit. Cut out some of that glare. One of the cameras I still want is a Sony ZV-1 Mark II. Is their upgraded version of their vlogging camera. I think that has built-in ND filters on the lenses. It's an optical zoom. It's a really nice looking camera. Power there as we go in. So it says cut to 25, which I might as well. Eventually it will cut to 15. And 15 and then, maybe it's 15. Gaining speed there. I was like, what the fuck? 15 down to 10. I hope I have enough time. There's nobody here. It's just weird when you see it in the fall, the footage in autumn, it's quite busy on these platforms. We're a little bit early. There's nobody here in summertime. Why? Because it's fucking hot. Ooh, that's a little early. Do they still get... Yeah, I'm gonna get 8N Master. Most of those are S's. I was really concerned about that. I'm like, if I biffed this and I got like too many B's. Some of those I wasn't sure. Alright, so that one's done. Thank you for playing. Yeah, you get this. Same message they give you after the end of every full-length run. You already watched that last time. Hey. I like that we just played that one like, here's the summer one. It's gonna go away when you play the other route, probably. Alright, so one more to do in full line mode. And that is A's Online up. So, oops, let's go ahead and scroll over that one. And that still says down. I need A's Online. Up. There we go. So starting at Yase Hiezanguchi. And that is a much shorter route, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sections. We're going out of here at 31. So it should be 25 leaving the station. Also different train too. The braking system, you can see the first brake point in there is humongous, and then you have a bunch of them afterwards before you hit the emergency. Right, that's 31 for the average here. That'll open up to...
This train is bound for Demachi-Yanagi. The next station is Miyake
We're going to be riding the brakes a lot, so you will be hearing that quite a bit. Should have a horn section coming up. Actually didn't tell me. Like, I know there's trackside workers there. They're always there. Just hanging out. Yeah, like I would expect that to be an uphill gradient, but it isn't. The downhill one makes sense. Right, that brake until it tells us not to anymore. You're moving too slow. Motherfucker, shut up. You told us that on that one uphill section before it fucking hit us with a massive speed downgrade. And I made it on time anyways. I mentioned in the last stream, it's like, yeah, when the game tells you go faster, just ignore it. You know what the average speed is. I'm like, just go the average. You'll be fine. You'll have to make some adjustments in the station, but the game doesn't penalize you for making small adjustments. Did we do it? No, we did the uphill version of this, I think. Last time. Oh no, actually I think I did the just one of the other ones. So we're kind of coming in fast here. A full 30 seconds before we even need to make the stop. Slow down. Even more. Bring it to a crawl. Good enough. All right, 38 through the next section as we go into Takuragaike and merge with the rest of the line on the Kurama line.
The next station is Takuragaike. Station number E06.
That's one thing about this particular train. I don't like the braking system. The fact that you got that massive amount of brake one before you ever hit anything else on it. So it's a little bit of a different difficulty curve. Making stops with the Kurama train is a little bit easier.
The train bound for Kibunekuchi and Kurama departs from track number 4.
That's way too far. Oh my god. That's an A rank, I think. That's way too far, though. I was off by a meter. Alright, Shugakuin. 42 is the average here. We'll see how that goes. At least this one's shorter if I have to redo it. Well, I finished the other route. That was fine. I got the ranking I needed on that. This last stop sucked ass, but... This train's a little bit more finicky. And we're going downhill most of the way, so speed's always an issue. You're moving too slow. Fuck you, man. I'm moving too fast. Oh, you got some speed, man? I ain't got no speed, man. What is this, a toothpick? It is a toothpick. Aw, man. It is a toothpick. We don't have enough time, do we? I was thinking, I'm like, we're really kind of far back, aren't we? I don't want to be a toothpick. It's like, hey, we're running out of time as I've come fucking flying into the station. I don't like the brake system on this. Not a fan. Like, I'm that far back in 10 seconds and I'm just gonna haul too much ass. I'm gonna be fucking too late. It was a perfect stop, but I'm like outside of that threshold I'd like to be in. Okay, Ichijoji. We'll see how this one goes. It's 41 through here is the average. Motherfucker. Yeah, the fucking track switch. Alright, I'm restarting this one. I'm not confident on that. I forgot about that track switch there where they just throw it at you like, here's, go 45. By the way, track switch coming up. I don't want to face the penalty, so we'll just start again. Now we know better. It's like, yeah, some of these are going to be fast. Okie doke. Have a good dinner.
Thank you for using the Asan Railway. This train is bound for Demachiyanagi. The next station is Miyake Hachiman. Station number E07. この電車はワンマン電車です。お出口は前の左側ドアです。お降りの際、乗車券、乗車駅証明書、運賃は運賃箱にお入れください。
Eventually, I don't want to blow the horn too much. Then you get penalized for that too. Surprised it's that close to that first guy. I'm just like, really, you should be sounding the horn once you see people. That way they're aware well ahead of time. That first guy, I'm like, oh, he saw you fucking almost a kilometer back. You hit the corner, like, oh, yep, it's train. Yeah, if anything, I need to almost... Some of these I feel like I'm either coming in too slow or I'm coming in too fast, but maybe also too slow. The way the brakes are, it's kind of hard to tell. I just have to keep a better eye on the time. We're just about a minute out. Or, you know, quarter, you know, less than 200 meters. Don't want to drop speed too much, but like... I especially with this all being downhill, you can gain speed so much. You're like, all right, now I'm going too fast, and I just want to inch my way into the stop. I'd rather have full control, and I know I have more than enough time where I can just ease my way into the stop. Just like that. Good enough. All right, 38 through here. I gotta remember, what was it? Ichijoji to Chayama was where it... Or was it Shugakuin to Ichijoji? Where it was like, oh yeah, by the way, you need to do a track switch, so we're just gotta make sure it's one of those. So we didn't get too far in. I wish the brake was also consistent enough where it wasn't slowing down as much, but it would just provide a nice little buffer. So you didn't have to hear that squeak every time. I don't want to hear it every time. I'm pretty sure you guys don't either. So with this one, I'm probably going to have to come in pretty fast and then slow down. Actually, we'll slow down a lot now. Good speed. There we go. What's up, people that just instantly appeared? There you go. That's good. That's a perfect stop. I'll take that. All right, so it wasn't through here, but we'll be... Shugakuin, it's 42, but... Is it this track? No. It's the next part. Yeah, because we wouldn't be able to change to anything anyways. Also, I'm wondering what this type of braking, if you did it on a real train, what it would... how passengers would react, how just mentally and emotionally be like, what the fuck? It's a lot of squeaks. On top of, when you apply the brake to just one there, how that would affect them. Would it jostle them around too much? Does it cause too many problems in general? So we're under a minute, but should be okay. 30 seconds, yeah. I'd rather not cut speed too soon. Especially since we have 20 seconds, I need to cut it about now. This one actually did the same thing last time. I cut speed too soon. Yeah, and it was the same exact fucking thing. I came in too fucking hot. Time's fine. This is the section where it's gonna hit us with the track change. So I need to keep that to like 20-25. Yeah, I came in, I slowed down too much, but that line is like way the fuck up there. 20 or was it 25 for the track change? 25. Okay. And then it's 41 for the rest of the way.
Station number E04. Please exit from the door on the front left of the train.
too slow. Well, maybe. We're not that far. Yeah, I forgot how... Like, section to section probably wouldn't be easy. Doing this as it is right now, I'm like, this is actually surprisingly difficult. Slow it. Fucking slow down already. Damn. That's good on time. I'm still not sure about this one. It's 40 through this section. The track changes ahead of us. Not too far away.
The next station is Chayama. Station number E03. お出口は前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the train.
Time to go in ultra concentration mode. And the last section is quite slow. This one after this is 38. The average speed, but it's 25 for the average going into Daimachi Yanagi, so... We'll see how that goes. So far, this is going slightly better than the last time we tried... today that we've tried to do this section, but... Whoops. I'm still not terribly happy with it. At least with this one, I'm like, okay. I can kind of just roll to a stop. There we go. Alright, so 38 through here, but we're not too far away. It's basically getting up to speed. Are we still downhill? No, we're going uphill.
The next station is Motosanaka. Station number E02. お出口は前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the train.
This one sneaks up on you real quick.
Wesker!
MCG, welcome in.
元田中です。お降りの際はお足元にご注意ください。Please watch
Slow
your
this guy
step when you
down.
leave the train.
A little bit closer. Not Daytona USA, we're coming to a rolling stop. That'll work. Alright, so it's 25 for this last section. Mainly because we're going to be hitting a... we're going to be pulling into the station. Yeah, California stop. Just roll in, man. Woo. No brakes, just loss of inertia. Yeah, this one we're going to have to brake pretty severely coming into the station. We kind of had to do that at the end of the Karama line as well. But I feel like with this one, it's actually would probably be the same exact thing. It's different filming, different footage, but We're pulling into the exact same station, exact same way.
Tickets will be collected at the
Which
station.
means we need to keep some of that speed up because we're gonna have to drop a lot. So the sooner we can get to that portion, the better, because that gives us more time to just kind of float into the last stop. Should be coming up. You're moving too fast. Now you're telling me I'm moving too fast. Most of the time it tells me I'm moving too slow. Yeah, I got fucking maybe less than a minute and a half. There we go. At least we're going downhill, but I think it's to 15 eventually. It says 20 going over the tracks, then it goes to 25. Going to the other side. Down to 15. There we go. Got enough time on that. We can actually drop that a little bit further in. Just give it a little tappy.
We will soon be arriving at Demachi Yanagi Terminal. Please change here for the Keihan Railway. Thank
Yeah, we
you
got
for
more than
traveling
enough time.
with
I
us.
need to actually slow it down even further. Hi, person waving over there. Jesus Christ.
Please watch your step when you leave the train.
There we go. All right. That got me exactly what I needed. There was a B in there, but it's good enough for 8N Master. So that's all full lines completed. We'll go take a look at those real quick. First, we'll let the
Power up.
we'll let the credits roll again. I don't know if it'll actually. You know what? We'll take a chance and see if it'll roll again at the end of Freeline. But let's go take a look at those extra goodies. The last bit of goodies. Or was it in Kurama line, or was it? No, it was here. Okay. That's right. I kept getting it confused because the two lines have their own books. But I forgot we were unlocking everything in here. All right. The 800 series, Azon Electric Railway 800 series, DO 810 type. I guess 810 type, or 810 type. Let's say 810. Love the fucking... Oh, that's pretty too. But I love the color scheme on the other one. They had talked about it with the colored lines on the side representing different things. The DO 810 type made its first appearance in April 1993. The exterior is the same as the DO 800, and 3 two-car trains are currently in service. Aside from a blue cobalt line, each pair of train cars has a different color variation. The 811 and 812 cars have a yellow-green line based on willow trees. The 813 and 814 train cars have a purple line, inspired by the wisterias of Kifune and Kurama. And the 815 and 816 cars have illustrations of the 4 seasons and animals along the railway. You can see a bear. About the same size, I think, as everything else. Looks like built by Keihan Electric Railway. Yeah, ever so slightly. I love how the odd-numbered cars have 2. It would be funnier if it was 46 seats in the even-numbered cars and 43 in the odd number, just to kind of make it. But yeah, two less seats, but you can fit the same amount of people. Some people are just going to have to stand up, though. Azon Electric Railway 700 series, DO 720 type. The DO 720 type train started operating in October 1987. 4 one-car trains are currently in service. There's definitely some older boys. The train initially had a no-suspended traction motor, which transmits force from the engine to the wheel axle. However, more common cardan joints, along with air suspension, are used nowadays for a better driving experience. The color of the vertical line on the 721 train is green, representing mountains. The 723 train has a yellow-green one representing spring foliage, and the one on the 724 train is blue, inspired by the nearby river. The 722 train changed its design in March 2019 to vermilion, the color representing all the shrines and temples along the railway. All roughly the same length. And then a whole bunch of stuff there. Not big trains though. 86 to 87 people, not as many seats. Uh, 700 series, the 710 type. Started in July 1987. 2 one-car trains are currently in use. The train was designed to be operated by one person, and it was the first train of the Azon Electric Railway with air conditioning. It took till 1987 to have air conditioning. On any of these trains on this line? Sweet Christ. Imagine going on those full. Actually, you know what? If you were running these in summertime, you'd have to have those windows fucking full blast. That also means there's no heating on these trains, so during wintertime, you better bundle up, motherfucker. All trains at the time had conductors and were colored cream with green. Had conductor? Well, of course, I would hope they had conductors. The one-person operated trains, on the other hand, were painted cream with maroon to differentiate them from all others. Nowadays, the 711 train has a mountain-inspired logo with a green line, while the 712 train has a maple-inspired logo with a red line. From March 2020, the 712 train will change colors of the Sanriku Railway, or change to the colors of the Sanriku Railway, red, blue, and white. So it's American. Patriotic trains. And then, yes. 700 series, DO 730 type. That's been in use. That current paint scheme is definitely not from 1988. The DO 730 type first turned up in December 1988. One two-car train isn't currently in operation yet. This one has been redesigned for sure, and that's the one, and it's probably the first time I ever learned about this railway. Was this train? This one, because it's you can't mistake it for anything else. Like, it's ridiculous. The 731 train was redesigned with a nostalgic design on September 27th, 2015, and is also known as Nostalgic 731. The 732 train was redesigned in March 21, 2018, and is now known as Hiei, and I believe that's the 732 that they keep showing here? Yeah. They don't have any photos. Did they show the 731? No. Oh my god. In 2013, the 732 train had a police car and a riot control vehicle designed for a limited time. The design was also called Pot Train, a word made up of patrol car and train. Well, I guess ACAB means trains too. Since then, the Pot Train had a big makeover and started operating as Hiei from... Yeah, that's the one they... The oval shape resembles mysterious energy and the link between the past and present of the area. Let's flip up seats, you can fit 85 people. Yeah, it's a lovely train. And that is everything here. We already looked at those a long while back, and everything is unlocked there. So, yeah, all books are done. So, what's left? We have free mode. Drive your favorite section to your heart's content. There are no evaluations or penalties in this mode. Sit back to drive as you like and enjoy the scenery. And I think it's going to make us drive all of these. So we're just going to haul ass and just kind of bullshit for a little while. At least I think that's how it's going to work. Let me see if I can find a trophy guide for this. Because I want to at least see, do I have to drive all of these? I'm thinking yes. Forums? Is there anything for the forums? Oh my god. Yes, you have fucking a secure connection. Jesus Christ. Everything has to run fucking Cloudflare. There are no topics in that, so that doesn't... Ayama. I mean, Azon? It's a weird deal for that. Let's see. Play the game for fun. Well, the game is fun. Very rare trophies. We have the whole Azon and Kurama line. You know what? We're just going to start them, and I'll skip this one, the summertime Kurama line. We'll just run both of these. Actually, you know what? I'm going to run down and then do this one as well, and if it pops a trophy, then we're good. Because I'm assuming it's probably going to make us do both. So we're just going to haul ass because we don't get penalized. Because the stops are different between all of them. You know what? We'll do it with the rest of the overlay up, since you guys don't get to see it. I generally don't drive with this. Oh, we can just go. I was like, the door's lit. Okay. Yeah, we don't have an arrival time. We can just go. Yeah, I generally don't have this entire overlay up because it is... I'm sure it would add to the immersion, and it would add a little bit to the overall feel of the game. Yeah, we're going too fast at this point. But whatever. But for me, I feel like it kind of blocks the footage a little bit, and I would like to see the whole thing. And it's not like you have to really worry about seeing the front of the train, because you can just follow the lines to make the stop. Speaking of stops, we're not making it. We're just hauling ass. The game will eventually kick us into the next section. So all these people waiting for us, they can get fucked. Oh yeah, we can just blow right through it. All right, we don't even have to stop. We can just go. Worst driver. I choose violence today. Get fucked. Oh man, I'm glad I saved this as the last trophy, because yeah, if we have to go through all of them, I'm just like, alright, cool. We're just gonna fucking haul ass. We can hit 80, but we have to hit it on downhill or level gradients. So we go uphill, we start to lose a little bit of speed, even with the power at maximum. Oh, easy peasy, man, we're good. Easy breezy, beautiful, cover girl. Get fucked, catch the next train, bitches. I got someplace to be, and that's the top of the mountain. Gotta go wrestle Jeff Jarrett for the TNA title. JK, he'll still go over. It's Planet Jarrett. I can't believe that man wrestled in 2023. Well, he wrestled last year too. Is that shitty? Was it last year that the shitty fucking Ric Flair retirement match that we knew wasn't real? Waste of everybody's time watching him fucking just limp his way through a terrible match. I'm like, yeah, dude, you should just stop. Wrestlers really need to learn when to stop. See how much faster this goes when you're just like, oh, I don't have to do anything. I just haul ass. Like at certain times I'm like, oh, this footage looks like it's going at the right speed, until you look at the lights, you look at anybody driving or pulling up to a stop, or anybody walking. Track switch. Whoa! We didn't derail. Bye. Even at this speed, like, you can see stuff pop out, but I'm like, oh yeah, it blends together pretty well. Ooh, big speed drop. Downhill. Whee! Can we hit 80? Oh yeah, we're topping out, man. Oh, but
You cannot stop me with paramecium alone.
yeah, because you can also just get rid of it completely. It is fun having this. Actually, since I'm not driving anyways, I guess we can just keep it completely open.
次は岩倉です。
Alright, where are we? We're at Iwakura.
次の岩倉の最寄り駅です
So we're heading into Iwakura, so we're about halfway through this run.
Station number E10 お出口は前の車両一番前の
Yeah, I really was not sure about that
Please exit from the door
that
on the front left of the first
Azon line up
電車は事故
run, that last one we had to
優
do.
先させる場合がありますのでご注意
That one was rough because that train just doesn't run as well. It's a beautiful looking train if you're doing like the 732, but that braking system can kick rocks. I'm not a fan of it.
次は日野です両町
So you can look down at the brakes
次の木野川
for this one. You can see all the pips. You look at the speedometer. It's the bottom right of the speedometer. All the pips, and those are all different different positions for the brake, which means you have a lot more control over that brake. And the last one's all the emergency section, which I've hit a couple of times, but it doesn't seem like it. This game doesn't penalize you for it. If you hit emergency brake in ditch to go, they will penalize you, kind of severely for it. But I do like having all those different things. It feels like you have a little bit more control, because that first one on the Azon line, the fact that eats up like half the positions on that brake, and then you don't get to the other ones. You gotta, I guess it's more for, hey, we're gonna come into a much smoother stop. We're gonna hit the brake, kind of coast in, you can let it off. But it's like, yeah, but I kind of like having it all in different sections like that, where you get a better feel for how those brakes work. It feels like you have a little bit more control. So we'll finish up this one, and then we'll do Azon line down. And if it doesn't ding there, then we'll come back up. We'll do Azon line up. We'll start back up at Kurama and go back down, and then just try it out. And if it doesn't ding it after like doing both directions without doing that summertime Kurama line bit, then we'll have to run that one too. It's mostly at this point, if we got to run all 5, it's just going to be watching us go through all this shit. Way fast for that fucking track change. Yeah, I'm looking at the bit rate for this video. I don't know if it was like, it's probably that way just to keep the bit rate small enough for the to fit on disc. 1080p video can be pretty big. Like all the stuff I shot for the Yokohama series is around like 60,000 kilobits a second. So it's like 60 megs, I think. As opposed to what YouTube uploads stuff at, which is like 8 if you're doing it at 1080p, which is why I'm uploading everything I'm doing into 4K, even if it doesn't natively support that in the video. Simply just to preserve the fucking bitrate. Oh, we're gonna haul ass on this section. We are gonna derail. We won't, but in real life, I think if you're hauling this much ass, maybe. Especially with these. Imagine that the gauge on these tracks has to be pretty thin. Whee! Nobody's here anyways to get fucked. Yeah, you can see it. Some sections, if you're not moving, it's fine. Some of these sections, you can see it in the trees. Trees always seem to be one of those things where trees, mountains, particular things, if it's dark, that'll show it too. It's the horn. Yay, we want to see the Maple Leaf Tunnel. Well, enjoy it while it lasts. What's up, photographer man? I don't think I've ever noticed that guy before. You know, say 2 more before we reach the end of this section.
Please watch your step when you leave the train.
No announcements either in this section, or in this mode. Probably because they're like, yeah, you don't have to actually make any stops. You can make them, I believe, if you want to. You can do just whatever you want. So how's your day going?
Keep your eyes peeled.
Way too many people there. Fuck you. I'm not stopping. You can't even fit on here. Why are you getting on at this station? Makes sense if it was busy at Kurama, but Kibu Neguchi? I don't know. Is there anything else to do around here, or is it just people hiking? We're gonna haul butt into the station. Yeah, like it'd be nice to have one of these games where you have like really good Ultra HD video, but I imagine the fucking install size for that would be massive. Even if you run a really good compression codec on there to make sure that everything looks good, but keeps it at a smaller file size. Like anything where it's video, it's like, yeah, it's not gonna be small. These games perplex people because they're like, wait, it's video footage? How come you can't get this, or this? I'm like, because it's video footage, numbnuts. Oh, we're coming in hot. Look out, everybody. Oh, shit. Thank you for your service. You're dead now. Actually, no, we're just gonna... I think we're gonna have to run all of these, so we're just gonna do them in order. We'll save the Kurama line down. Summertime for last. This one should go reasonably fast because we're going downhill the whole way. Shit, that's what we get the messages for. That looks like some Joshi Pro Res from the 80s. Bull Nakano versus Manami Toyota. The first televised singles meeting between the all-time legends. Oh, okay, this is on Twitter. That's gonna be too loud. So let's let this run for now. Can I add window capture 2 over here? Because really at this point we're just kind of chilling out. I thought I had window capture 2 on here. Let me try adding that. I guess I can. You don't need window capture 3 up anymore. Let's see, window capture 2. Yeah, there we go. That's the whole thing, though. You don't need to see all that. Jesus. I have much to hide there, but I'm just kind of like, Jesus. So. Yes. Center to screen. Actually, let me put this down below the logo, so that's over the top. Nope, down here. There you go. Now, as I was talking about, we do have... Hide that and bring it up real quick. I do have my series starting really soon. We have some premieres already lined up. very, very soon. Grab the playlist link for you. Actually, the playlist is unlisted for right now. If you want the link, you can add it to your YouTube. You can save playlists. That's the playlist right now. Some of it won't be visible because it's scheduled, but it's not scheduled for premiere. However, why is that so low? What the hell is that looking at? Okay. We do have the first video in the Yokohama series going live. And we have that Saturday, July 22nd at 5 p.m. That's Pacific time. It's in 8 days. I'll grab you the link for that too, because you can set a reminder to be there and join me in chat as that first video goes live. I have an introduction video that is going up. I have an introduction video that goes up like an hour before that. It's just a simple little thing to be like, oh yeah, this is what we're covering in this series. This is, you know, the footage we're using. This is what I'm kind of sticking to. Nothing too crazy, but just to give you an indication of what we're going to be doing. But yeah, that one is going live a week from this Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then part 2 is ready to go as well. Why it keeps doing that? I think it's to show chat. But also, this one is ready to go as well. Part 2, Chinatown. That was going to be on Saturday, August 12th. I'm trying to space these out a little bit to give myself enough buffer time to keep working on episodes so I can get them out. I know I still have enough time ahead of me before I need to be like, okay, this needs to be fucking done. But I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait until I had 3 or 4 videos ready to go, because I already had technically 3 ready to go. This is going to have this episode, and then as this episode is premiering, part 2, there will be an extra one to go along with it that shows parts of Chinatown at night. That's going to be listed in the description box. Yeah, it was going to be August 12th. That was a Saturday as well. Same time, 5 p.m. You can set the notification on that. I've moved it to August 10th, because I will be out of town from August 11th to August 16th. And I don't want to try to do a premiere while I'm in Denver, because I'll be busy. I don't want to have to try to figure out, okay, I got to stop whatever I'm doing or wherever I'm at and be like, oh, let me open up the app, be there for the premiere. Like, nope, let's just fucking do it on the 10th, the day before I leave. Same time, it'll be a Thursday. So if you're going to potentially be busy that day, hopefully you'll be able to make it. But at least that way I can get that premiere out of the way. By then I should have episode 3, and I'm working on episode 4, get part 4 done as well. That way I can always line those things up. Set them as premieres, get all the other stuff ready to go. And there'll be some YouTube shorts and things that'll go up on Instagram Reels, but there'll be YouTube shorts to go up along with it, like the day after these episodes drop, or at least within a couple of days to go along with it. I'm doing what I can for it. But at the very least, I will finally be able to start sharing some of this footage that I shot. I'm nervous about it, obviously. I don't know how it's gonna go. I really don't. The other ones I've done have done pretty well, but at the same time, there's pressure on me to hopefully do a good job on this. Like, I'm not expecting it to blow up. The other ones have done okay, but like, I wouldn't say they've lit the world on fire. The most I could hope for is people watch them, people enjoy them. One day, a decade from now, they hit like, 6-digit views in the long run, and maybe I'll get a shout out from Sega one day. I don't know, but I just, for the most part, I've been just wanting to get this stuff out there. And now I finally can. And I still have a lot of work ahead of me. I still have 5 episodes to fully edit. And that's before I even get to the Onomichi stuff, which I may do as either 2 episodes or I might combine it into one long episode. Because that's going to be quite a bit of ground to cover. We'll see how that works out. I'm not thinking about that one at the moment because that's not a part of what I'm trying to work on right now. But at the very least, as I start getting through this, maybe as I start getting other episodes done, I'll speed up the release time frame. Right now, with where it's at, I don't want to speed it up too much. I'd rather space it out, give myself enough time, not have to stress about it too much. This buys me a lot of time too, so that hopefully by the time episode 2 is done, like I said, episode 3 is finished, episode 4 is most of the way there, and I can just keep rolling that time over. I'll lose a little bit, in mid-August, not being home, but that's okay. By the time I'm also looking to house sit potentially in Denver in December, so by that point everything should be finished up. I may have even started working on Onomichi, but I don't have a time frame on when I need to get that one out. I didn't even have a time frame on where I need to get done this. Like if I got to slip date a little bit, if it takes me a little bit longer to get shit done, or things come up and it throws off my ability to edit these videos, then that is what it is. I'm not gonna stress out too much about it. But yeah, those links are in chat. The playlist is there. Some other stuff will show up as it gets released. At least those first 2 episodes are set for premieres. So I'll love to see you guys in chat those days. Those will be ones where I'm not streaming on, for sure. I will be available and ready to go on those. They'll have countdowns. I think it's like 5-minute countdowns, 3 or 5 minutes. So show up a little bit early, so you're ready to see it, and then I can link you guys over, at least for episode 2. That one's later on. I don't really have anything extra for episode 1, but it's like 25 minutes long, so I would run them here on the stream, but I would honestly much prefer and appreciate the help by getting those initial views by having you guys watch it there with me on the YouTube page. If it makes more sense to do it at 6 p.m., I can change the time. Just let me know. I don't want to set it too late, but to have the regulars there would be helpful. I'm going to start sharing that stuff here probably in the next day or so, and use the things that I have for the YouTube shorts, but use those as Instagram reels and start promoting it over there, and make some posts on YouTube as well for the community page, and let people know, hey, by the way, if this shit's happening, come on down. I'd love to see you, and maybe we'll get some people to hang out. We're almost done with this run. Oh yeah. Lights are on, but nobody's home as we haul way too much ass pulling into the final stop. Shit. Alright, so let's run the Kurama line next. Or sorry, the Azon line. These won't take as long. Yeah, I definitely overestimated having as much done, because I was pretty confident going into last month. I was like, oh, I'll get fucking 3 episodes done. And editing that first episode, and that's why I'm like curious how people will view it, because for me, I'm like, I think it's decent, but all this kind of came together, maybe not how I envisioned it, but I'm one person shooting with a non-professional camera, and maybe I didn't shoot things properly the first time around. It's too late to worry about that. And I was really kind of stressing out. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to put this together? Until I just had to tell myself, I'm like, look, you've done shit like this before. Just kind of put it together the same way you have. but it's something similar. Things look better. It's a lot more stable. Just don't overthink it. Just put it together. You know what you're doing. But I'm always pretty overly critical with my own shit. So, and that's perfectionist in my head, fucking with me a little bit. I think it'll be fine. But that's kind of up to the audience to do that. But putting that first one together and just, it turned out to be a lot more work than I was anticipating. And even the second video, like, you could put all the stuff together, you can get everything edited together. I'm trying to think if maybe I should start doing the VO beforehand, but with some parts it makes sense because you don't have to have a lot of voiceover, but that's a hard part too, because you need to find time to do that and sit down, and you're gonna have to record for like an hour or two just to get the shit done, and then you're gonna have to go back and do retakes and whatnot. It's a lot more. It's fun. It can be stressful, but it is fun. But it's a lot more than I was anticipating, and that's why I think it's kind of good that I start spacing things out and I give myself a little bit more time, because I'm not working, again, I'm not working on a time limit. I'm not doing this. If I was doing this for Sega or doing this for like any one place, I'm like, okay, yeah, it'd be a little bit more stressful, and I would have to be like, okay, I gotta get this done. I would probably stop streaming and just devote all my time to editing, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to kind of do both, and I can do both. Like, even with some of the stuff that's going on right now, it's like, you know, different social functions that I haven't done in a while because folks' days off changed and those plans got canceled, and I wasn't planning around. Like June, it was like, I'm not going to go to that many movies, and I'm not doing shit on Fridays. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're doing stuff on Fridays again for a limited period of time, and then all these movies came out, and we had tickets for them. And I'm just like, fuck, man, I don't want to have to keep giving up this time. Like, I could be doing work right now. Like, I want to see people, but certain people maybe right now I don't want to fucking see them. I don't want to have to deal with that. And I've gotten kind of used to, you know, I figured, okay, I have this time frame. I have these days of 7 days a week. I can work 6 of those. I can edit for 3. I can stream for 3. I can get some editing work done on the streaming days if I time shit out correctly. And then I can have 1 day off. But even then, it's just, there's certain days. Yesterday, that I got that introduction video done. I think I got done around 2 a.m. early this morning. But I was like, okay, I need to get this shit edited and get it done and have it up, because we go live in like just over a week. And it wasn't a hard edit to do, but it was just kind of like, I spent a fair amount of yesterday just putting it off. Like, I was definitely, what's the term I'm looking for? Procrastination, there you go. I was definitely procrastinating, but once I got stuff done, like I got a little bit of work done a couple days ago, and it was a matter of, okay, just get little bits of what we filmed, get some game footage that took like, 20 minutes to record, put it in there, do the VO real quick, doesn't have to be long, it's a 3-minute video, boom, just get it done. Short stuff like that, you can get it done pretty quickly. But at certain times I'm just like, oh my god, I kind of don't want to do this right now. And it would be different if I was getting paid to do it, obviously. But I'm not, so... Wait, what was enlightening? Especially with the delay, I'm like, I know what I said, but now I don't quite remember exactly what I said. I don't know what we're agreeing to. But, yeah, it's different when I'm not doing it, and I'm doing it, I guess, kind of sort of for fun, but like I want people to take notice of it. I want people to see these things. And it's not a bad thing to put some pressure on myself to do a good job and to be consistent and to do the work. But then there's days where, I woke up today and I felt like shit. My dreams were not all that helpful. I was having dreams about people that I would love to hear more often from, and oh, just there's just the editing. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of work. If you don't do any VO, you're probably doing yourself a favor, because it's an extra layer of shit, and you're gonna have, you know, enough quiet. Like I use OBS here to record because I have the threshold set up for the mic, and it's like it doesn't pick up a ton of background noise, and as long as everything's relatively quiet, and I'm not like, you know, touching my shirt or touching my face or anything like that, because I tend to do that just as like a nervous twitch, because I actually get nervous when I do VO. I'm the only person in the room. I don't know what I'm getting nervous about, but it's just, I get nervous. It's like putting yourself on the spot, like nobody else is here. But it's just one of you have to find a decent enough time to do it. And lately, obviously, it's hot, so you have to run the air conditioner, and that may or may not get picked up. That might actually be low enough that it gets cut out, even when I'm speaking. I don't hear it when I record it, but yeah, that is its whole other process, and I don't really, I try to get breakdowns of what I want to talk about, but I don't script things. So I'll do multiple takes of that, and if I don't like it later, if I'm lucky, I'll have enough pauses where I can kind of just snip things out, do a quick re-record that hopefully sounds fairly close, pop it in there, and then just decrease, kind of fuck with the amount of space between each of them, so it's kind of a, you know, the beats, there's a good beat to it. But going back to the other point, yeah, you know, I was just having dreams about people I want to hear from more often, and I know they're busy. And, they have shit in their plate, they have lives. But in the dreams I was having, it was like I was constantly seeing or talking to people that they know, but that's the only people I was seeing. This person was always out of reach. Or I'd see them and they'd be on their way out, they'd be doing other things, and I'm like, why can't you stick around? But then I was dreaming that I was getting DMs from them, and I'm like, oh cool, they're getting a hold of me. And I woke up and I checked my phone, and I didn't see anything. Like I checked it and went, no, they didn't get a hold of you. In fact, nobody got a hold of you. It's like nothing. People I want to hear from, places I've applied to, nothing. And that's been a consistent thing where it's like my alarm's set, but I will turn it off, or I will, if I can catch it before it goes off, there's lots of times I just turn it off and it never goes off. And there's other times where I can snooze it, or it goes, you know, the alarm hits and I can turn it off from there. And I just roll back over because I just look at my phone and I go, well, nobody needs anything from me and nobody wants to talk to me, so fuck it. And I'll fall back to sleep for like an hour or two. Which is not a good habit to have. And you don't want to beat yourself up too much about it. It is what it is. You know, I'm aware of it. I know why it's happening. I know how I feel about it. And it's okay. It sucks, but it's okay. That's just kind of how it is. I mean, honestly, a lot of the DMs I get, a lot of the messages I get, are just about shit I don't want to know about. Hey, this thing's on sale. You need to pick it up. I'm like, A, I shouldn't be spending the money, so I don't need that. B, no, I already know it. You imagine the amount of shit that I get sent, where I'm like, oh, have you seen this thing? Yeah. I own it and have owned it for months, or it's on a YouTube channel that I've been following for like 3 or 4 years now, and I see it. It shows up. Like, I am very aware of this. I don't need this sent to me. How do you tell enough people where it's like, hey, can you just stop sending me shit? Like, just assume I already saw it and don't send it to me. Just always assume I didn't see it. Just assume. And not, how do you say that and not sound like a complete asshole? That's really difficult. I don't think you can. All right, I'm just gonna make this go through all the way back up to Mount Karama one last time in the summertime. But this is going to be the final bit before we pop the platinum trophy. Yeah, especially right now, like I need to make room for the stuff I have. I need to get rid of stuff I know I don't need. I already mentioned, I went through my Amazon wish list and got rid of a bunch of shit where I'm just like, this has been sitting here for 5 or 6 years. I've never bought it. Nobody else has ever bought it for me. It needs to go. I need to scale this down to, I want this shit. It's the same thing I was talking about on my Facebook. Was it last month? And something I brought up in the Discord as well, where it's just kind of like, hey, if you're going to get me anything, you need to either pull it from this list, or you need to tell me so I can have the chance to tell you not to waste your time and money buying me something I don't need, I don't want, or won't do me any good. Which does make me sound like an asshole. I think it does. But I'm also like, yeah, don't worry about it either way, because I'm really just not expecting much. And all the stuff I want is something I either can't be given because it's intangible, you can't give it to somebody, or it's something people can't give to me, or it's too expensive. So no point in wasting your time or your money getting me something where, you know, even if I don't tell you outright, I'm going to be thinking in my head going, man, I didn't want this. Like, it's nice, but I'm like, what am I going to do with this? The same, like with figurines, that's why I always, if I get sent links about, it's like, oh, look at this figurine, I'm like, what am I going to do with that? It's a box that's going to eat up space, and I don't have much shelf space. I'm not going to take it out and look at it or display it, because I don't have the space. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm gonna have to go through like the physical books I have and be like, okay, I gotta get rid of like a lot of this shit, because I'm not gonna read it. If I start buying, any physical books I want are all gonna be manga that I want to collect. Like any of the Viz stuff for Hokuto no Ken or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'm like, yeah, I've picked up a lot of those. I'd like to finish those sets at one point. Like, those are things you could get me and I would make space for. And be thankful, because it saves me a lot of time and money. But anything else, I'm like, no, I'd rather just get either a tablet or an ebook reader, preferably a tablet, because, you know, at least on there I could just buy the books via Kindle and be like, okay, yeah, I can read it. And have something to take along with me. Tablet's something I honestly really need. Preferably, you know, like a higher end one that does all the normal shit. And I'm like, yeah, I only like the video edit on this too, and have ample enough space I can throw footage onto there and edit it in full resolution and export it in high enough quality, and then immediately upload it to, you know, YouTube. But, you know, it's either one of those things I have to get myself, or just deal without it for right now. So I'm not doing a lot of big time traveling in the next 6 to 12 months that I know. Going to Denver, but, you know, I'll cover that stuff with my phone. And if I can figure out how to export it in higher quality, then I will. Or I'll just film it all in 4K and export it that way. Hopefully it looks looks decent. I'm just going on about stuff right now. We're nearing the end of the stream, because once this is dinged, we're finished up with the trophy set and what we were working with tonight. But yeah, shit. I'm looking at it right now. What did that look like? 2022. It was... was it the 22nd? Oh wow, it was. So yeah, a week from now, I'll have been out of work for a solid year. It's not not exactly something I wanted to hit, but here we are. And I've had not a whole lot of luck. I think I had one company look at something I applied to on LinkedIn, and I got the notification for it, but it's like, okay, well, they have to actually get a hold of me after that, and them viewing it doesn't mean much. And I think it was for a hybrid position anyways in LA, and it's like, yeah, I don't live in LA, and I'm not moving there. Unless you guys pay me a lot of money and you help me move out there. That's probably not going to happen. But gaming's not exactly getting better on that. And a lot of companies are still laying people off and And I see folks that are like in high enough positions where it's like, I'm taking some time off for me, and I'm like, man, must be fucking nice making a 6-figure income and being able to afford all these things. And you're like, I don't fault them for taking time off. I think if you need it, you need it, but it's like most people can't do that. And it's also kind of weird when you see how bad the job market is. But I guess if you have enough connections, you don't have to worry about if the job market sucks. You'll be able to find a place. Someone will fit you in somewhere. And I don't have that luxury, unfortunately. I know people in the industry, and their jobs either aren't hiring or I'm not hearing back from them, and that's disappointing too. Because at this point, I 100% need somebody's help to get work. I've tried for a year now and it hasn't worked out. But even when I've had other people say, oh yeah, apply to this or talk to this, and it seemed like it was going to go in that direction, it was going to work out, their company all of a sudden just doesn't hire anybody. And then they never hire for that position, ever. Or that person stops talking to me. And they just kind of drop off the face of the planet. They have their reasons, obviously. But it's also like, damn. Like, where'd that confidence go? I was pretty confident like that first two months or so after I was done with my last job, and that confidence is gone, man. I haven't had a phone call with anybody since January. Obviously, part of that was being out of the country, and that made things difficult, but like, I don't care how bad the market is. Like, if I see somebody hiring for something and I know I'm qualified for it and I don't get a response, it's strange. I don't know, at that point I don't know if it's me or if it's them or if it's just bad luck. Or just bad luck. I don't think I've fucked up or done enough bad shit to anybody in my lifetime to, you know, burn a whole bunch of bridges. And some people, is, you know, I reach out to them, I never hear from them. At least one old coworker, I reached out to them in 2 separate spots. I'm just like, hey, I see you guys are trying to hire for this position and you're working there now. You know, if you just, you know, give them a word, I guess. That's not how I phrased it, but thinking like, okay, like, I know I'm good enough to fucking do this. And I just never heard from them. Like, no response on anything. I don't think they've ever even seen it. They don't check either platform, and I don't have another way of getting a hold of them. But that's why having shit to work on has been so important to me lately. It's not a way of hiding my emotions. I have to accept how I feel, and I have to be okay with how I feel and face it head on. But it's also nice to have that bit of structure going on too. I need that. I need something to not bury my emotions, as I said, but I need something to just feel like I'm getting something done, and it makes me feel good. Doing this stuff, doing streaming. Streaming's been a little bit easier lately. It's tough sometimes, but it's also easier than it has been. And being able to edit stuff as well. It's just nice to have all that in front of me, even if it can be slightly overwhelming. Having that in front of you, especially seeing with a lot of the other people that we've had here, you know, that we've interacted with, different channels we've interacted with, where a lot of those folks just aren't streaming anymore. It seems like they're not doing it. They built up audiences, and then one reason or another things come up, and all of a sudden they're not there anymore. So it's kind of like, well, I gave up for a little while last year. It's been almost a year since I started doing all this stuff again, and I wasn't sure in 2022 how things were going to work out. So I'm glad I went back to doing it. But it also sucks because you have those kind of allies. You think, okay, we'll be able to help each other. We'll be able to do different things, and you know, I'll have that little bit of assistance along the way of being able to get noticed a little bit easier, and then those avenues go away, and I'm like, well, now I don't have that anymore, and I don't know where they're going to come back, and I don't interact with enough communities which really matter where some of them are so big. I know they're not gonna. They don't work with a bunch of people anyways, and it's like, well, all right. Yeah, I'm rambling now. That's all I got for you, man. As we're pulling into this final station, and I'm wondering why the fuck it's so warm in this room. I feel like the air conditioner got turned back up. I don't know what it was set to earlier, but it was nice. I know it's warm in here because my PC and the PS5's running, but I'm also like, it's a little too warm. That needs to be turned back down. Like, there's auto settings on that motherfucker, and it likes to go back up to 78 a lot of the time. I'm like, no, it's kind of too warm sometimes, especially when I'm in here and I'm working on shit. And there is the final trophy. And there's our platinum. Thank you for your service. Thank you. And that's it. Finally, after a little while, I have all that done and dusted. And then we can, I'm about to say, can we sync from here? I don't think we can. There we go. Back over here. Nope, not turn down this. Turn off the system. That's platinum member 85. I'm well behind my roommate Aaron. He just hit platinum 1000. He was going to do one of the GTA games. He decided not to. He started playing GTA San Andreas again on PS5, and he's like, I don't want to fucking play this. So platinum number 1000 for him was Katamari Damacy reroll. And it took him a while on that because you have to collect every item in the game. And there's a lot of items. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. No thanks. You can see with some of this stuff how far back I did it. It's been a couple of years. 2021. Yeah, I bought this not long before I moved out of that older house. A lot of that stuff got unlocked. I was sitting on the last few trophies for a while and hadn't got back around to it. And I was like, oh, you know what? I should do that. And now we're good. Good to go. Should have taken a screenshot of that. That's all right. Anyways. What did I have this open on? Oh yeah, I think I had talk time open to that. So I can go ahead and close this guy out. And keep that one open because I gotta move over this VOD once we're done. That's enough giving out for the evening. Turned into that kind of stream as we were finishing up because I didn't have anything else to do as we were running the last few bits. I'm like, once I realized, oh, we're gonna have to do all 5 sections. All right, let's just run them. But yeah, Saturday I'll be back, starting up Super Mario RPG. Make sure everything is set up on RetroArch in the meantime. I always forget, is it RetroArch or RetroArch? Because it's ARCH, but I've heard people call it RetroArch as well. I don't know if there's ever been like pronunciation. Yeah, how do people... There's no official pronunciation, so either is equally valid. Internally, we say arch as March. Yeah. I've heard RetroArch, and I'm like, once you add that H, that's an arch to me. But... I'll stick with arch because it looks like there isn't. It's silent K. But there's no K even in there. There's an H. Unless there's the K after the H. I'll stick with RetroArch. That's fine. Yeah, so Super Mario RPG, that starts Saturday. So we'll probably play that Saturday and Sunday. And get rolling on there. As I said, the The Switch SNES controller hooks up perfectly fine to Windows. It's a Bluetooth controller. It's there. The only fun part was trying to get it to see it properly in RetroArch, and you can. I feel like setting up controls in that program is fucking doo-doo ass anyways. It's not terrific. It's not even terrific on the Xbox 360 controller. But I think I got everything mostly set up, so I'll just have to do some testing on that, make sure it's all saved properly before I do things, and then we should be good to go from there and make a good college try. And so I'm kind of like wondering, I'm like, why am I doing it through RetroArch when the SNES Classic has it right there and I don't have to do anything except fire it up and play it? And I can make save states either way on any of them. But if I change plans on that and we play it on the SNES Classic, don't be surprised. Just for the sake of simplicity. I think the only thing I really wanted to check on there was to see what the input delay was like between playing it on my TV connected through the Elgato and how it looked like on the PC. It should be the same, but you never know. But we'll get around to that in a couple of days' time. But that's going to be it for tonight. I don't know. Is anybody on right now? BBH is on. What is he streaming at the moment? Probably arcade games. Codename Viper Run Back, and then maybe the Genesis version of Rolling Thunder 2. Yeah, we'll hand it off to him. Stick around as we start the raid. But yeah, I will see you guys on Saturday. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a good Friday. Friday's tomorrow? Yes, Friday is tomorrow. Stay safe, stay well, watch out for weirdos, and we will catch you all next time. Till then, take care. Have a good night.
Hey! Hi, Duke. Oh, listen, I just wanted to say goodbye and remind you that the good guys always win. Even in the 80s.